The screen lit up in the dim glow of my Brooklyn apartment. My thumb hovering over send like it was defusing a bomb. I meant to hit Jake's contact, the guy I'd been flirting with on Grindr for weeks, but in that hazy post-shift fog from the coffee shop, I tapped Liam instead. The photo stared back at me shirtless in the mirror after a run, sweat-glistened skin and a shy grin that screamed vulnerability. Captioned, "Missed you tonight. Come over?" My heart slammed against my ribs as the blue checkmark appeared, sealing the mistake that would unravel everything. I lunged for my phone, but it was too late. The message had winged its way to the one person who'd never seen me like that. My straight-as-an-arrow best friend since freshman year at NYU. Liam, with his easy laugh and football hero build. The guy who'd crashed on my couch through breakups and bad additions, oblivious to the quiet ache I'd buried for him all these years. As the seconds ticked into eternity, I pictured his face twisting in confusion, disgust maybe, and whispered to the empty room, "What have I done?" That night in late October, the air in my cramped one-bedroom on Myrtle Avenue carried the crisp bite of fallen leaves sneaking through the fire escape window I'd cracked open for a smoke. New York was alive outside, sirens wailing like distant heartbeats, the rumble of the J train shaking the floorboards. But inside, it was just me, frozen in the wreckage of my own idiocy. I'd been riding high on a rare good day, double shifts at Bean There, done that pulling in tips from stressed-out finance bros, and that electric back and forth with Jake, who had this way of making me feel seen without the weight of history. We'd swapped pics before, nothing too wild, just enough to stoke the spark. But this was me raw, unfiltered, the kind of shot you send when you're half in love and fully reckless. Liam and I had met 4 years ago in an intro to film studies lecture hall that smelled like stale popcorn and regret. He was the jock from Ohio, all broad shoulders and boyish charm, majoring in communications because sports broadcasting sounded cool, he'd said with that lopsided grin. I was the theater kid from rural Pennsylvania, hiding my queerness behind sarcasm and scene-stealing monologues. We bonded over hating the professor's droning voice and binging old Tarantino flicks in my dorm till dawn. He became my anchor in the city's chaos, the one who dragged me to rooftop parties when I ghosted my own life, or sit silently while I ugly cried over my parents' radio silence after I came out sophomore year. "Your family, Mace," he'd say, clapping my shoulder hard enough to jolt me back to earth. Family. The word always landed like a half-punch, sweet but stinging. I'd never crossed that line, though. Not once. Liam dated women cheerleaders in college. Baristas now, the kind with glossy hair and easy confidence. He knew I was gay. We joked about it over beers, him playing wingman at Pride with zero awkwardness. But feelings? Those I locked down tighter than my student loans. Until tonight, when exhaustion blurred the edges and my heart hit send on autopilot. My phone buzzed. Not the reply I dreaded, but a text from Jake. "Hell yeah, that pic's fire." Tomorrow, guilt twisted in my gut like bad takeout. I typed a flirty response, hit send, then stared at Liam's thread. Nothing. 5 minutes. 10. I paced the peeling linoleum, chain-smoking Camels till the room hazed over. What if he laughed it off? Or worse, what if he didn't? By midnight, I convinced myself to bail, delete the thread, ghost him first, the coward's creed. But then my phone lit up again. Not a text. A call. Liam's name flashing like a verdict. I let it ring twice, thumb trembling, before swiping accept. Mason, his voice was steady, but there was an edge to it, like gravel under tires. No anger, no recoil, just that quiet intensity he got before a big game back in college. Yeah, man. Hey, my throat felt like I'd swallowed sand. I sank onto the sagging couch, the springs groaning in sympathy. Paws stretched, filled only by the muffled honk of a cab outside. You okay? That pic. You meant it for me? Laughter bubbled up, forced and brittle. God. No. Total fuck up. Grinder glitch or whatever. Sorry. Dude. Delete it. Pretend it never happened. Another beat. I could picture him in his Astoria walk-up, probably shirtless too after a gym sesh, running a hand through that perpetual 5 o'clock shadow. It's not a big deal, Mace. But you look good, man. Like, really good. Been hitting the trails. Relief flooded me, warm and disbelieving. Yeah. Prospect Park loops. Clears the head. We slipped into easy banter, him ribbing me about my hipster cardio, me firing back about his protein shake addiction. No weirdness. No fallout. By the time we hung up, promising a Knicks game next week, I exhaled like I'd surfaced from drowning. But sleep evaded me. As I lay tangled in thrift store sheets, the city's pulse thrumming through the walls, doubt crept in. His tone had been too casual, too kind. Like he was tiptoeing around a landmine. Or maybe, and this hope flickered dangerous, I'd finally cracked the facade, shown him a piece of me he couldn't unsee. The next morning dawned gray and unforgiving, rain sluicing down the windows like tears I hadn't shed. I dragged myself to bean there, the familiar hiss of the espresso machine a lifeline. My boss, Rosa, a no-nonsense Latina in her 40s with tattoos snaking up her arms, clocked my zombie vibe immediately. Mijo, you look like death warmed over. Bad hookup. Worse. Sent a dick pic to my straight BFF by accident. I frothed milk with more force than necessary, splattering foam across the counter. She snorted, wiping it down. Oof. And acting like it's NBD. Which is great, but weird. Rosa leaned in. I sharp. Straight boys don't act fine unless they're freaking out inside. Give him space. Or don't stir the pot. Life's too short for tiptoeing. Her words stuck as the lunch rush hit. Yuppies barking orders. Baristas slinging lattes like ammo. By close, my feet ached, but my mind raced. I texted Liam, beer tonight? My treat for the trauma. His reply pinged instant. Hell yes. 8 at McSorley's. McSorley's was our spot. An old Irish dive in the East Village. Sawdust floors and ale served in tin mugs. Walls plastered with faded photos of immigrants who'd built this city brick by stubborn brick. Felt like stepping into history, a buffer against the gloss of modern Manhattan. Liam was already there when I arrived, hunched over a dark and stormy. His flannel rolled to the elbows, revealing forearms corded from construction gigs between auditions. He was chasing acting dreams now, bit parts in indies while framing houses in Queens. He slid a mug my way without looking up. To accidental thirst traps, I clinked mine against it, heat rising in my cheeks. To deleting histories, we drank in companionable silence at first, the bar's murmur wrapping around us like an old quilt. Then he turned, those blue eyes locking on mine with an intensity that made my pulse stutter. For real, though, Mason. You seemed off last night. Like, more than a wrong send. I shrugged, tracing the mug's rim. Just tired. And, yeah, the ex thing. Parents still pretending I don't exist. You know, he nodded, slow. I do. And that sucks, man. But you're out there living, you know? Dating, running, killing it at that hipster palace. A grin cracked his face. Jake sounds solid. Jealousy nipped at me, unbidden. Early days. He's uncomplicated. Liam's brow furrowed. Uncomplicated's overrated. You deserve fireworks. The words hung, heavy with subtext I couldn't parse. Was he deflecting? Probing? We pivoted to safer ground. His latest callback for a commercial. My botched monologue at an open mic. Laughter flowed freer with the ale. The rain pattering against the leaded windows like applause. By last call, buzzed and buoyant, we stumbled out into the drizzle, arms slung over shoulders in that bro-hug way that blurred lines just enough to ache. Crash at mine, I offered, the old habit kicking in. Nah, gotta be up for a pour-over job in the Bronx. But soon, yeah, he pulled me into a real hug then, fierce, lingering a beat too long. His cologne mixed with rain, wood smoke and something earthier, and for a reckless second, I let myself lean in. As he vanished into the night, I stood there, soaked and stupidly alive. The photo hadn't shattered us. If anything, felt like a door creaking open. But New York has a way of slamming them shut when you least expect. The week blurred into a rhythm of false normalcy. Jake and I grabbed falafel in the village, his hand brushing mine under the table with a spark that promised more. Liam texted memes, cats in tiny suits, Nick's trash talk, nothing loaded, but consistent. I told myself to let it lie, to chase the uncomplicated flame. Yet every night, scrolling through my camera roll, I'd linger on that mirror shot, wondering what Liam had really seen. Cracked on a Thursday, 2 weeks post-mistake. I was midway through a double when my phone buzzed in my apron pocket. Not Liam or Jake, but Tyler, a mutual from college, the loudmouth theater tech who'd always smelled opportunity in drama. Dude, wild story about you and Liam. Spill? My stomach dropped like a stone. What story? LMAO the pick. He told us at poker last night. Said you accidentally gayed him. Epic. The world tilted. Rosa caught the mug I fumbled, her eyes narrowing. Me, Joe? I bolted to the back alley, rain-slick bricks closing in, and dialed Liam. Straight to voicemail. Then a text, we need to talk. Now. His reply, Astoria. Come over. The subway ride was torture. F-train rattling through the tunnels like my fraying nerves. Betrayal burned hot. A bonfire of what-ifs. He'd shared it, laughed it off with the guys, after that hug. Those words, by the time I buzzed his intercom, fury had armored my hurt. He opened the door in sweats, hair damp from a shower, the apartment smelling of pizza grease and fresh paint samples scattered on the coffee table. Mace, you told them. It wasn't a question. I shoved past, pacing the worn hardwood. Poker night. Accidentally gayed? What the fuck? Liam? He winced, rubbing his neck. It wasn't like that. Beers flowing. Tyler asks about you. So you spill my dumbass moment? For laughs. No. God. No. He stepped closer, hands up like calming a spooked horse. I was proud. Man. Proud you're owning it, putting yourself out there. It came out wrong. Proud. The word cracked me open. Of my thirst trap? Or of me being your gay sidekick? His face fell, confusion knitting his brow. What, Mace? You're not. Save it. I grabbed my jacket, storming for the door. Friendship's off the table when it's fodder. Wait, he caught my arm. Grip firm but not trapping. Please. I fucked up. But don't walk. Not like this. I yanked free, chest heaving. Rain lashed the window, mirroring the storm inside. Part of me wanted to bolt, to cauterize the wound. But his eyes, pleading, raw, held me. Why'd you tell them? Liam? Really? He exhaled, slumping against the wall. Because. Scared me. That pic. Not 'cause it's you, but 'cause I saw how much you hurt sometimes. Hiding shit. And I thought, if I joke it off, maybe it'll stick, make it normal. But I get it now. It wasn't mine to share. The admission hung, vulnerable as my own mistake. I sank onto his couch, the fight draining out. It wasn't just a pic. It was me hoping, stupidly, for something more. From Jake. From life. From us. Maybe. His silence stretched. Then he sat beside me. Not too close, but there. Us. Not like that. Like. Half-truth. Just. You're my person. And this city chews up persons like us. We talked till the rain eased, him owning the betrayal, me unpacking the ache of unrequited everything. No hugs, no grand gestures, just words stacking like bricks toward forgiveness. When I left at dawn, the skyline smudged pink, felt tentative. Mended, but fragile. November swept in with a vengeance, frosting the brownstones and turning breaths to ghosts on the wind. I threw myself into distractions. Late-night rehearsals for a fringe production of Angels in America at a black box theater in Chelsea, where the role of Pryor hit too close. Love's wreckage. Faith's fragility. Jake fizzled after a third date, his texts cooling to polite check-ins. Uncomplicated. Sure, but paper-thin. Liam? We circled each other like wary dogs. Group hangs with the old crew. Stilted one-on-ones that skirted the fracture. Thanksgiving loomed. A minefield. My folks had stopped calling after the coming-out letter. Their silence a louder rejection than any slur. Liam's invite came via text. Mom's making turkey in Ohio. Room for one more. I stared at it during a slow afternoon pour, steam curling like unspoken thanks. Rosa nudged me. Go. Mijo. Families who shows up. The flight to Columbus was a blur of turbulence and turkey-scented dread. Liam's childhood home was a split-level rancher in a suburb of cookie-cutter lawns, American flags snapping from porches like declarations. His mom, Karen, enveloped me in a hug scented with cinnamon and Chanel. Blonde bob. Laugh lines etched deep. Mason, Liam's told us all about you. The city boy keeping our boy in line. His dad, Tom, a retired mechanic with calloused hands and a gentle squint, clapped my back over highballs in the den. Football flickered on the TV. Lions fumbling against the Bears. But the real game was this normalcy, unearned and warm. Liam hovered, refilling my plate with green bean casserole, his knee brushing mine under the oak table laden with heirlooms, great-grandma's china, stories of Thanksgivings past. That night, stuffed and sentimental, we snuck out to the backyard fire pit, stars pricking the Midwest sky sharper than New York's haze. He tossed logs on the embers, sparks dancing like fireflies. You okay? Being here. I nodded, nursing a beer. Feels like borrowing a life. Thanks. He poked the fire, embers glowing in his eyes. You're not borrowing. You're in it. A pause. Then quieter, sorry again. About the poker thing. Been beating myself up. It's done. Mostly. The scar itched, though. But why'd it scare you? My pick. He leaned back, boots scuffing the grass. Not the pick. The caption. Missed you. Made me think. Am I enough? As a friend. The question blindsided me. Liam. You're everything. The brother I never had. The guy who sees me. His gaze held mine. Firelight carving shadows on his jaw. Good. 'Cause I need that too. This city's eating me alive. Auditions ghosting. Gigs drying up. You're my North Star. Mace. We clinked bottles. The moment sealing something deeper. Unspoken. Back inside. His sister's kids piled on for board games. Chaos of Monopoly money and giggles. I caught Liam watching me once. A soft smile tugging his lips. And wondered if Ohio air thinned the walls we'd built. Return to Brooklyn was jarring, subway stench. Rent due notices slapping my mailbox. But Liam's energy shifted post-holiday. More calls. Unprompted coffees at a Williamsburg roastery where baristas pierced their faces and charged $7 for drip. He opened up about his own cracks, the ex, Sarah, who'd bailed after he admitted stage fright before a showcase. The pressure from Tom to man up and go corporate. I love you for listening, he'd say, casual as cream in coffee, but it landed like a pulse. One sleety December eve, we hit a queer open mic at a dive in Bushwick. My idea, testing waters. He tagged along in a beanie and parka, nursing a ginger ale while I read a piece about fractured families. Voice cracking on the line about loving in the margins. The crowd drags queens. Poets with blue hair hooted approval. Liam clapped loudest, eyes glassy. Outside, snow dusting the stoops. He pulled me into an alley for a smoke. That was you, up there. Raw. Brave. Brave's a stretch. I exhaled smoke, watching it mingle with flurries. Just surviving. Nah. His hand landed on my shoulder, thumb brushing my neck accidental-like. You're thriving. And I'm learning from it. The touch lingered, electric in the cold. I pulled away first, heart hammering. Teach me your straight guy secrets sometime. Like, how to not overthink. He laughed, low and real. Deal. Starting with this, Knicks versus Celtics. Courtside seats I scored from a sight. You in, always. But as we trudged to the L train, his arm slung casual over my shoulders against the wind. I felt the pull friendship's gravity bending toward something unnamed, risky. Christmas Eve found us stringing lights on my fire escape, eggnog spiked with rum from a bodega bottle. The city glittered below, a sea of twinkles masking the lonely. Liam had shown up with a tree from a lot on Knickerbocker, scrawny, but ours, and a box of ornaments pilfered from his mom's attic. We hung them haphazard. A glass bulb from his first touchdown, a felt star I'd made in grade school. Halfway through, buzzed and tangled in tinsel, he unearthed a photo from the box. Us at 17. Wait, no. College. Spring formal. Him in a rented tux. Me in thrift velvet. Arms around each other mid-laugh. Look at us. Pups. Yeah. I clipped the pick to a branch. Throat tight. Before everything got complicated, he stepped close, breath warm on my ear. It's not complicated, Mace. It's us. The words blurred the line again. I turned, our faces inches apart, the bulb's glow haloing him. For a heartbeat, I saw it, desire mirrored, hesitant. Then his phone buzzed, shattering, Tyler. Group chat blowing up about New Year's plans. He stepped back, chuckling awkwardly. Duty calls. The night devolved into laughter and carols blasted from my Bluetooth, but the almost lingered like smoke. As he crashed on the couch, snoring softly under my Afghan, I lay awake, staring at the ceiling cracks mapping my fears. What if the wrong photo had been right? What if kindness was code for more? New Year's dawned hungover and hopeful. We rallied for the ball drop in Times Square, elbow to elbow in the crush. Confetti cannons primed. Liam bought us cheap champagne flutes from a vendor, toasting to us, unbreakable. The countdown echoed, fireworks blooming overhead as Auld Lang Syne swelled. In the chaos, he hugged me fierce, chin on my shoulder. Happy New Year, brother, brother. The word grounded me, bittersweet. But as we wove home through revelers, his hand found mine in the crowd, just for a block, steadying, and released with a squeeze that said everything and nothing. January bit hard, auditions dried for him, shifts cut at the shop for me. Bills piled, isolation crept. One blizzard night, power out in my building, I trekked to his in snow up to my calves. He answered in boxers, concern etching his face. Mace? Shit. Get in. We hunkered with candles and canned soup, shadows dancing on walls papered in rejection letters. What's eating you? He asked, passing the chili. Everything. The dam broke, tears hot, words tumbling. The grinder ghosts, parental void, the terror of loving too loud in a world that whispers back. He listened, arm around me, no judgment. You're not alone, he murmured. I've got you. In that flicker-lit vigil, vulnerability bridged us. But dawn brought clarity and conflict. A knock, his on again. Off with X. Becca, soaked and contrite, begging reconciliation. He let her in, eyes apologetic. Give me a sec? I fled into the snow, heart splintering. Betrayal anew, not his to choose, but mine to feel it so deep. Friendship's limits, stark as the whiteout. Weeks blurred into avoidance. Texts went unanswered, hangs cancelled. I dove into rent callbacks, channeling anguish into Mark's camera lens. Liam's messages piled. Talk. Miss you. Man. The breaking point came mid-February. Valentine's glut at the shop, heart-shaped lattes mocking me. Rosa cornered me in the stockroom. That boy's calling here. Fix it or forget it. I showed at his door that night, roses in hand, not romantic, a peace offering from the bodega. He opened, hollow-cheeked, stubble thick. Mace. Becca. One word. Loaded. Gone again. For good. He stepped aside. Come in. The apartment reeked of takeout and regret. We sat on the floor, backs to the couch, passing a bottle of cheap Merlot. I pushed her away, he admitted. After you left. Realized. I was comparing. To you. My breath caught. Me? Yeah. His voice roughened. The way you see me, flaws and all. No one's ever. The air thickened, charged. I set the bottle down, turning to him. Liam. He kissed me. Sudden, tentative, lips soft, tasting of wine and want. Shock froze me, then melted into response, hand cupping his jaw. It was brief, electric, pulling back with gasps. Shit, he pressed forehead to mine. I didn't mean or I did. Fuck, Mace, I've been straight my whole life. But you, the confession hung, precipice. Joy warred with terror, this, finally, but at what cost? We can't. You're figuring. I know, hurt flickered in his eyes. But I had to know. I left before dawn. The kiss a brand. Friendship saved, or shattered anew. Spring teased Brooklyn with false thaws, crocuses pushing through concrete, but nights still clawed with frost. The kiss lingered like a bruise, tender and throbbing, coloring every interaction. We tried normalcy. Coffees where eyes darted, touches accidental but charged. Liam threw himself into therapy, his idea, a queer-affirming counselor in the village, grappling with labels that didn't fit. It's not about changing teams, he'd text. It's about you. I nodded through it all, but doubt festered. Was this love, or curiosity's cruel experiment? My role in Angels open to packed houses. Critics praising my visceral ache, but stage lights couldn't illuminate us. Jake resurfaced. A bar run-in. Awkward flirtation. But I demurred, loyal to the mess. The conflict crested in April. Cherry blossoms shedding pink confetti on the promenade. We'd planned a run along the East River. Masochistic therapy. Sweat slick and breathless. We collapsed on a bench overlooking the skyline. Manhattan's spires indifferent to our turmoil. I think I'm bi, he blurted, staring at the water. Or pan. Or something. Doesn't matter. What matters is I feel it. For you, my heart soared, then plummeted. And Becca? The girls before. Real. But different. He turned, hand on my knee, deliberate. This is deeper. Scary deep. I pulled away, pulse roaring. Scary's right. What if it's a phase? You wake up, regret it, me as the footnote in your coming out story. His face crumpled. Mace. No. You're the whole damn book. Words. Easy to say. Trust. Harder. I need time, I whispered. To believe it's not pity for the gay kid. He nodded, pain etching lines I'd never seen. We walked back in silence, the city humming oblivious. Isolation followed. I ghosted rehearsals for solo nights at dive bars, nursing whiskeys and what-ifs. Rosa staged an intervention over closing shift. Amor, you're fading. That boy's kindness? It's real. Don't punish him for your fears. Her wisdom pierced. But fear's a stubborn tenant. May brought Mason's my birthday, low-key at a rooftop in Bed-Stuy. The crew showed. Tyler contrite with a six-pack. Rosa with trace leches. Liam arrived last. Gift in hand. A leather-bound journal. Pages filled with scribbled lines. Poems? Letters? For your stories, he said. Voice low. The ones we live. I flipped through. Throat tight, entries chronicling our years. His voice weaving humor and heartache. One page stopped me. The day you sent that photo, I saw you. Really saw. And it saved me from my own straitjacket. Tears pricked. The party swirled on. But we slipped away to the edge, city lights sprawling like possibilities. I'm sorry, I said. For doubting. I'm sorry for the mess. His fingers laced mine. Tentative. Worth it. I kissed him then. Soft. Sure under the stars. The crew hooped from afar. Acceptance wrapping us. But betrayal's shadow loomed. June heat wave baked the asphalt. Tempers flaring. Liam landed a role. Lead in an off-Broadway queer drama. Ironic twist. Rehearsals consumed him. Late nights with a cast of lithe actors. Easy intimacies. Jealousy gnawed. Whispers of chemistry in reviews. Photos of him laughing with a co-star. Alex tall. Tattooed. Openly fluid. One sweltering night. Post-show drinks at a cast party in Soho. I arrived to find him center stage. Metaphorically, arm around Alex. Heads close in animated talk. My stomach twisted. When he spotted me, joy lit his face. But too late. I downed a gin and tonic. Fled to the alley. He found me there. Smoke curling from my lips. Mace? What's wrong? That. I nodded toward the door. You and him. ZZ. Right? No baggage. His eyes widened. Alex? He's a friend. Like me. Before, venom laced my words. Before you figured your shit and I became the experiment? No. He grabbed my arms. Urgent. You're not God. Mace, it's you. Always. Liar. Hurt spilled. You told the guys about the photo for laughs. Now this? I'm just the plot twist in your bi-awakening. The accusation landed like a slap. His face hardened, then softened to anguish. I get it. The fear. But pushing me away, that's the betrayal. I recoiled. Me? You're the one. Stop. He stepped back, voice breaking. I love you. But if you can't see that, maybe we're done. He walked away, door slamming behind. I sank against the brick, sobs racking the climax of our chaos, love's high wire snapping. Days bled into a fog. No calls, no texts. I called out sick, curled in bed while spring turned sultry summer. Rosa covered, but her look said fix this. The crew tiptoed. Tyler's awkward check-in. Heard you two imploded. Sucks. July 4th exploded overhead. Fireworks mocking my fracture. Alone on the fire escape. Bottle of bud in hand. I scrolled old pics. Us at Coney Island. Cotton candy grins. Thanksgiving toasts. The journal lay open on my lap. His words blurring through tears. Mid-boom. My phone lit. Liam. Voice shaky. Hey. Can we talk? Really talk. I met him at our bench. River lapping like uneasy truce. He looked wrecked. Shadows under eyes. Flannel rumpled. I told Alex everything. Stepped back from the show. Can't do half measures. My chest ached. Why? Because losing you? Unbearable. He knelt then, not proposal, but plea, hands in mine. The photo saved us. Mace. Showed me what I was blind to. Your kindness. Your fire. Let me return it. Sobs choked me. I was scared. Of breaking. We're already broken. His thumb brushed my cheek. Together, we mend. We kissed as Liberty bells pealed. Tentative, then fierce. Sealing not just friendship, but a love-hard one. Autumn's palette returned. Gilding Central Park in golds and crimsons. But our reconciliation was tentative brushstrokes. Careful, layered. Liam and I navigated the new us with the awkward grace of dancers learning steps. Brunches where hands intertwined under cafe tables, movie nights blurring into slow kisses on the couch. He came out to his folks over FaceTime, Karen's teary, as long as he's happy. Tom's gruff loves love. Son, my parents, still silence. But I found peace in chosen family. Yet conflict simmered beneath. His role recast. But the theater world buzzed, gossip of Liam's pivot, whispers labeling me the catalyst. Tyler cornered him at a cast party. So, you're gay now? After all the girls. Liam shut it down. But the barb stuck, fueling late-night doubts. Am I ruining you? I'd murmur into his shoulder, his heartbeat steady against my ear. You're freeing me, he'd counter, fingers tracing my spine. This is us, Mace. No apologies. October brought a test. His high school reunion in Ohio, a weekend of exes and expectations. Come, he urged. Show 'em the real deal. I balked. Intruder's guilt. Small-town stares. But love's a bold script. We flew in Friday, checked into a B&B on the edge of town. Quaint quilted beds, clawfoot tub for stolen soaks. Saturday night. Gym packed with Letterman jackets and hairspray ghosts. Playlist stuck on top 40 from '09. Heads turned as we entered. Arms linked. Ex-Sarah air-kissed him, eyes flicking to me curious sharp. New arm candy? She teased. Voice honeyed venom. Liam's jaw tightened. Partner. Actually. Mason. The word rippled. Murmurs. Stares. We danced through it. Awkward two-step to Carrie Underwood, his hand firm on my waist. But midway, a cluster of old teammates pulled him aside, beers in hand, voices low. I nursed a soda at the bar, eavesdropping fragments, swinging both ways now, laughter. As he returned flushed, excusing us early. In the car, silence thickened. They're assholes, he muttered. They're your past. I squeezed his thigh. I'm your now. The dam broke in the B&B, passion fierce. Bodies mapping forgiveness. But dawn brought reckoning. A text from his cousin. Forwarded group chat screenshot. Teammates thread. Liam's gone full rainbow. Bet the city turned him. Betrayal anew. Not his but theirs, echoing my deepest fear. He saw it in my face. Mace, it's fine. I just tired. The flight home was strained, turbulence mirroring us. Back in Brooklyn, distance crept, him crashing at a buddy's for space, me burying in being there overtime. November elections loomed, countries divide mirroring ours, headlines screaming division, while we tiptoed eggshells. Climax brewed at Thanksgiving Redux, his mom's, my invite extended. Karen outdid herself. Turkey brined in apple cider, pie lattice perfect. But under the table, Liam's foot nudged mine, a silent SOS. Post-feast, Tom pulled him to the den for the talk. Man-to-man, voice muffled through the door. I paced the kitchen with Karen, her hands flour-dusted. He worries for you, she confided. Says you're his heart. But the world's cruel. Tom emerged, clapping Liam's shoulder. Brought you up right, boy. Love who you love. No fanfare. Just fact, Midwest stoicism. Profound in simplicity. Relief cracked us open. That night, fire pit redux. We roasted marshmallows with the family, Stories flowing. Liam's toddler tantrums. My city escapades. As stars wheeled, he whispered, "See, we're good." But I glimpsed the cost. His flinch at a teammate's pity invite. The way he scanned rooms for judgment. "It's worth it," I asked later, tangled in quilts. Every stare, kiss soft. For this, December tested further. My parents' holiday card arrived, generic. No return address inside. Ache flared. Liam held me through it, rocking like a lullaby. We'll make our own traditions. New Year's planning. Intimate, just us on the rooftop, champagne. Resolutions whispered. But betrayal's ghost resurfaced. Tyler's slip at a pregame. Heard Liam's ex is writing a tell-all blog. My straight-to-gay heartbreak. Clickbait poison. Anonymous but pointed. Rage boiled. I confronted Liam post-Knicks. Halftime score forgotten. Your ex? Spilling our story. He paled. What? I didn't. Blogs live. Details only you two know. Hurt lashed. You talked? After. No. Desperation. Swear. But if she did, the implication gutted. Our private pain. Public fodder. I stormed out. Subway to nowhere. Tears freezing on cheeks. Climax's eve. Love's fragility exposed. He found me at dawn. Been there stoop. Rose's key letting him in. I confronted her. Denied. But took it down. Sued if needed. Why protect me? Voice small. Because you're mine. He knelt in the empty shop. Dawn gilding counters. And I'm yours. Flaws. Fights all. Sobs merged us. Forgiveness a hearth. Humanistic truth. Love isn't flawless. It's fought for. Fiercely. Winter's grip loosened into a muddy March. New York's thaw revealing potholes and possibilities. Liam and I rebuilt deliberate. Couples counseling at his therapist's. Unpacking bisexuality's baggage. His internalized biphobia. My abandonment scars. Sessions unearthed gems. His Ohio boyhood hiding crushes on teammates. My theater kid facade masking family fears. We're pioneers, he'd joke post-session. Over falafel wraps. Mapping the uncharted brozone. Yet conflict lingered. Subtle fissures. His career surged. A pilot episode callback for a Netflix drama. Queer-coded lead. Paparazzi whispers followed. Liam Hayes? From jock to heartthrob? I swelled with pride. But envy nipped. Spotlights I'd chased. Now his being there felt smaller. My fringe gigs paling. April showers birthed May blooms. And with them, proposal not ring, but road trip. Let's escape, he said, packing the Jetta with coolers and cassettes. Destination. American Southwest, canyons carving stories older than us. We drove from Brooklyn's bustle. I-80 unfurling like a exhale. First stop, Chicago. Windy City whirlwind. Deep dish at Lou Malnati's. Lips greasy with laughter. Art Institute wander. Van Gogh's starry swirls mirroring our swirl. Motel nights tangled sweet. Bodies learning languages of touch, gentle. Exploratory. No rush. Utah's red rocks awed. Arches National Park. Hoodoo's standing sentinel. We hiked Delicate Arch at dawn. Sweat-soaked and silent. The span a metaphor, fragile. Enduring. At the summit, wind whipping, he pulled a pebble from his pocket. Smooth, heart-shaped. For luck. Like us. Tears stung. Love you. I breathed. The words vast as the vista. southward to Santa Fe, adobe charm and chili ristros dangling like rubies. We ate at hole-in-walls, salsa burning tongues, stories spilling, his football glory days, my first kiss stolen backstage. One night, under adobe Vegas, thunder rumbled. Storm hit fierce, rain lashing, power out. In the flicker of phone light, vulnerability peaked. I'm scared, he admitted, thunder punctuating, of losing this. The world's waiting to label us, trendy by, confused straight. I traced his jaw. Then we rewrite the script. No labels. Just Liam and Mason, lightning cracked, illuminating truth. We made love slow, storm's rhythm our own, emotional, not carnal, souls sinking. Grand Canyon climaxed the journey. Rim trails vertigo-inducing, Colorado River a blue vein below. At Sunset Point, tourists thinning, he dropped to one knee, not dramatic, dost need real. No ring, just vow, marry me, Mace, not today, but someday. Build this life. Joy exploded, yes tumbling out. Hugs fierce, tears mixing with canyon dust. But descent brought shadow, a hiker, grizzled vet type, muttering as we passed hand in hand. Ain't right, boys, slur soft, but slicing. Liam stiffened, but I squeezed his hand. Ignore. Our canyon, back east, the high faded into reality's grind. June pride swelled Manhattan, parades rainbowing avenues, floats thumping gaga. We marched, signs bold, love wins, labels lose, cheers buoyed, but a counter-protesters yell, repent, sinners, revived old wounds. Liam faltered, grip slackening. Post-march beers at Stonewall. He unpacked. That guy echoes my dad before he came around. Makes me doubt. Doubt us. Heart clenched. Doubt my strength for you. Vulnerable. Raw. I cupped his face. You're my strength. We carry each other. July heat peaked with his callback LA trip. 2 weeks. Anxiety gnawed. Distance testing. Hollywood's temptations. Call every night. I teased, masking fear. He did voicemails poetic, texts filthy sweet. But mid-trip, betrayal struck, tabloid blind item. By actor hooks up with co-star on set. Photo grainy, him and a woman. Innocuous hug twisted salacious. Panic clawed. I texted. True. Reply instant. Hell no. PR bullshit. Flying back. He landed storming. Airport reunion a clinch. Apologies tumbling. It's noise. Your signal. But hurt festered. August arguments escalated. Me accusing projection. Him defending exhaustion. Can't I have friends? He'd snap. Without the world assuming? A counter. Climax erupted Labor Day weekend, Hampton's escape. Borrowed beach house. Waves crashed as we fought on the deck. My jealousy unpacked, his frustration boiling. You think I'm performing queerness for you? No. I think the world's making us perform. Voice breaking. And I'm tired, Liam, of fighting for scraps. He paced. Sunset bleeding red. Then what? End it? The question hung. Abyss yawning. Silence stretched. Waves mocking. Then, soft, I can't. You're my home. Tears merged. Then fight with me. Not against. Reconciliation raw. Walks on dunes. Bonfires bearing souls. Humanistic core emerged. Love's not absence of storm, but dancing in it. September steadied. His role landed. Filming in state. I directed a short at the shop, Bean Their Doc. Rosa starring. Successes intertwined. Support steel. October's foliage framed a quiet milestone. First, I love you's post-fight, whispered in Prospect Park. Leaves crunching benediction. But winter whispered warnings, his shoot wrapping, my lease ending. Betrayal's final echo. Sarah's email. Contrite. Heard about you too. Happy for him. Sorry for the blog. Closure. Bittersweet. As snow dusted again, we planned joint apartment hunt. Futures sketched. Kindness, unexpected, had bloomed into enduring grace. December 2025 circled back. A year since the photo's fateful send. Our anniversary unspooling in a snow-glazed Brooklyn. The apartment we found, top floor walk-up in Greenpoint, bay windows framing the East River, felt like conquest. Exposed brick, creaky radiator hissing lullabies, our lives boxed and blooming. Unpacking unearthed relics. That journal, now co-authored with my scrawls. The pebble from Arches, perched on the sill like a talisman. Liam's show premiered mid-month. Streaming hit, Buzz Electric. Red carpet nerves had him pacing pre-event. I ask you, what if they hate it? I straightened it. Kiss grounding. They'll love you. Like I do. He shone interviews deft. Us hand in hand for photos. Headlines shifting. Liam Hayes. Authentically queer. Backlash trickled. Trolls online. Podcast rant. But we armored with laughter. Blocking noise. Holidays healed old rifts. Karen and Tom visited, tree trimming in our space. Karen's cookies clashing with my lax. Tom's quiet gift. A toolbox. For building what lasts. My parents. Card arrived. Tentative. Thinking of you. Love. Mom and Dad. First thaw. I framed it. Progress pinned. New Year's Eve mirrored last. Rooftop. But ours, string lights. Friends clustered. Tyler toasted. Redeemed. To wrong turns writing. Fireworks burst as midnight struck. Liam pulling me close. To us. Saved and saving. The year had etched us. Hook's mistake birthing depth. No bye kid. No experiment. Partners. Plain. Humanistic end. Love's not grand gestures, but daily kindnesses, the text at 3 a.m. Miss your snoring. The shared grocery run debating kale versus chips. Betrayal scars, faint, teaching resilience. Spring 2026 whispered futures. His Emmy nom, my play off-Broadway. But roots held, Brooklyn's pulse our rhythm. One dawn. Coffee brewing. He wrapped arms around me from behind. That photo? Best accident ever. I turned, smiling. Kindest response. In America's vast tapestry. Divided, diverse, we wove our thread. Dramatic falls. Emotional climbs. Romantic tangles. Humanistic hold. Friendship saved? No, evolved. Into forever. And as the city stirred below, we stepped into it, hand in hand, unbreakable, unexpected, ours.